Hey you, before the video starts, consider dropping a like, a comment, and maybe consider subscribing. This really does help the channel grow. On to the video. Hey there guys, it is Main here, back again with another positioning. There we go. That looks a little bit better. I just recorded the Deathbringer video and things felt, I don't know, it felt a little too, like it's looking too much up here. Anyways, back again with another account review, this time off stream as I'm not streaming on the 9th, so doing some account reviews here and there throughout the week so you guys have next week's worth of content rather this week, today. I don't know, time works weirdly. You guys are watching this in the present for when that is. And obviously that's that week, not next week. So anyways, we're doing Charlie's account. Funny how this one came about. I don't think Charlie actually won a giveaway, nor did he like donate or anything to get an account review. I think I was just chilling in voice chat one day and Charlie said, "Hey, can you review my account?" And I said, "Yeah, sure, why not?" Anyways, Charlie's been a long time member of the Discord. I don't know. I get the feeling he's very like hoity-toity and he's funny to be around. So I said, yeah, why not? I'll do an account review. Albeit it's gonna be somewhat short account review because I don't know how much to delve into it without without like repeating too much of anyone else's account reviews. So, anyways, Charlie. Also, the account's kind of outdated. 7/19 was when this is uploaded. This is August 8 today. Anyways, so first thing I would recommend off the rip is obviously being more attentive to your shrine levels and being able to level up your shrines is number one. We'll talk about that in just a second. The other being Onyx statue levels just overall. So doing more DK crystal farming in World 1 for specifically like the power statue, speed, mining, Lumberbob, and doing some World 2 catching node stuff for the Ocean Man statues and doing some, I believe, fishing also gets you old reliable, I believe. So those ones, because the 48 for Ocean Man's feels really low, and if you want more crit chance and crit damage on your Deathbringer, the Ocean Man statue will really help you out with that, as it'll give you more fishing efficiency, which means you get more crit chance, crit damage because of that one talent. On Deathbringer, which one is it? And you have two Deathbringers, by the way. The Famine of Fish, power of 10 fishing efficiency gives you Wraith crit chance and Wraith crit damage. The crit damage actually pretty useful, even into the end game of Deathbringer. And for all the master classes, their abilities can mega crit. So getting above 100% crit chance is actually worthwhile. And I would highly recommend trying to aim for that. Because you are going to be able to kill the mobs a little bit better, and by grinding out fishing efficiency now, you might be able to farm World 7 spots when that comes available. I actually don't even know if you're able to do World 5 or sorry, World 6 even, but hey, to each their own. You're a cranium hoarding. Okay, so you can do World 6. Yeah. I mean, doing getting some more crit chance and stuff to help out with that journey. Okay, getting more Ocean Man statues to grind out that efficiency to help you out with that on Deathbringer. I don't know why I'm talking like this, but along the same vein, obviously stamps are a go back to always do, try to level up. The drippy drop stamp here is pretty good, just getting a little bit off topic, but doing the drippy drop stamp to help you with liquid regen. This is a fantastic stamp. It's one of the best stamps, honestly. It's high tier 1 for you to exalt, in my opinion, because the liquid regen speed, it is effectively a multiplier almost to how much liquid regen. So if you're doing like liquid farming, the drippy drop stamp is very, very useful, and you can naturally get this up to level, looks like 140, probably. Honestly, getting to like 150 I think should be fairly easy with you, with a combination of gilded stamps with hydrogen stamp reduction, etc. And then because if it gets hit by no stamp left behind right now, it's kind of a waste because you can naturally upgrade it anyways. Even at a 0% cost reduction, you can forcibly fit 5 billion pocket sand into your inventory. You can do a little trick with your inventory. For those of you who aren't fully aware, you can actually get more than a billion in your storage. You just need to kind of manually create space, or other different stacks. So I'm going to do it with bugs here real quick. It's like 3 2-hour candies. Let's break this nest, pop open some skill efficiency, make this a little bit easier on myself. Hopefully, I got a plunderous coin there. That's cool. Real quick, I'm going to deposit this. Okay, so I'm going to move this stack of flies out here to the open to make this a little bit easier. I'm going to get a few 1 stacks here. I'm going to make a few 1 stacks. Honestly, make this just a little bit easier. And then when I pick up these flies here and I deposit, You see, obviously it goes temporarily above the 1 billion mark until I change maps. So I'm going to move another stack out to the front. Click force deposit. Okay, do basically the same thing for the other flies here. Click deposit, move down, move up, click deposit, click move up, deposit. It's kind of inefficient, but you guys get the gist of it. I'm just doing this for demonstration purposes. There's no reason why I need all these flies. But if I leave map, you see all of these. I have a bunch of individual stacks of flies here, totaling in the billions. And then, you know, you would replicate this for the pocket sand specifically, and you can fit those on whatever character is the highest carry capacity. Your highest carry capacity right now is actually 24 billion. You see at the bottom here, max capacity Mighty Dude 1 has 24 billion. So you would have all those individual stacks on that character. You would put it onto that character, like you do here. Obviously, you know, this character not the best for flies or whatever, and you know, may as well just let's see, may as well just, I don't know, upgrade this or something. Okay, and that's basically all you do. You just get that couple billion, put it on your character, and then go upgrade that stamp. So in case those of you who don't know how to do that, there's a quick little tutorial about how to bypass temporarily the storage capacity. That's, you know, completely legit. Everyone does that. It's not really a bug. It's a known feature. In fact, it's embedded into the achievements of Idleon. If you're looking for, I guess this is another quick little tip for everyone who's kind of early game. Some of these achievements seem like they're downright impossible to get if you kind of wait on them. But the achievements like 0.5 mil log, having a stack of exactly 500,000 Vanity logs in your storage. Those of you who don't know, you can actually just get a individual stack of 500,000 and then put it into your storage, and voila, achievement completed. You can keep your 1 billion stack that you have earlier on, and then just have the 500,000 as a separate stack, and it'll complete the achievement. It's completely intended mechanic. It's been around for a long time. It'll stay around for a long time. So those of you who haven't completed these achievements and you're pretty much into the end game, like the copper ore one or the iron ore, you can complete this. And I highly recommend doing it, because completing achievements actually is fairly useful because of this bit. The super bit here, the bits per achievement, it gives you a bit multiplier for every achievement you complete. So achievement hunting in this game is actually worthwhile. Highly recommend doing that. Anyways, we're getting sidetracked from Charlie's account review, so let's move on. Let's see. Just rating real quick, just quick visual glance at your Exalted stamps. These are terrible. You have Mason Jar, Crystalline, those are good. I agree with. Multi-tool, I agree with. Summoner Stone, I agree with. Drippy Drop, yes. Matty Bag, yes. Golden Apple, I think I already said that, yes. Refinery, I do agree with. Atomic Stamp, I do agree with. Multicool Stamp, this is questionable. Drop Rate Stamp, in my opinion, this is questionable as well, as is Void Axe, as is Void Sword, and Crop Evo. Those are all questionable stamps in my opinion. I'd rather see an Exalted stamp on Vendor Stamp, for example, on Chopping Bag or Little Mining Bag. Those are pretty good. Divinity Stamp honestly still has some usefulness and good potential. I don't know if the Essence Generations ones are actually like a multiplier to your Essence Generation. I don't believe so, so I probably wouldn't exalt them. Just, you know, I guess just talking and trying to work my way through what stamps might be good. It's also worth considering. You may want to just hold on to some Exalted stamps if you have a little bit extra, because, you know, we don't know what stamps World 7 is going to introduce, what, I guess, multipliers or etc. What World 7 is going to introduce to make this consideration, or whether the optimal stamps to double maybe worthwhile in the future, because World 7 stamps are just busted. Who knows? All the worlds seem to introduce some insane mechanic that we, you know, currently can't think about because we don't know the direction of the game. Anyways, moving on. If you were able to get another Exalted stamp, hold on to it. I wouldn't probably exalt anything else at this point. Maybe consider exalting something else that World 7 introduced. Who knows? But I mean, you know, going back to it, the reason why I don't think Golden 6's stamp is really worth the exalt is because of how limited of a resource Exalted stamps are, especially since Exalted stamps no longer are in a limited time shop where you can buy a superfluous amount of, which is how you see people with like 14 Exalted stamps, is because I think you could buy up 6 or 8 from a limited time shop. You got an additional one from an event store. So these were pretty much well handed out through the gem shop at one point. But now, you know, if you're just starting out in the game, or you're, you know, getting Windwalker and you're realizing how how like costly the dust is for an Exalted stamp, you're wondering how the hell do people have up to 14, 15, or 16 Exalted stamps? It's primarily because they bought them in the gem shop and they had that event shop rotation, and you just missed out on it. That's truthfully that's truthfully it. It might come back in rotation at some point. Who knows? I mean, I suspect it probably will. It's just questionable to me why it's not like a permanent thing like the oddities tab, for example, because it exists. Why not just be there? It just feels like unnecessary FOMO at this point. But anyways, that's also assuming that there's useful stamps to do all 14 on. As you can see, people end up confused when you get past stamp 6 about what is worthwhile to exalt, and some of them are just really, really bad, like the crop evo stamp, for example. This is an extremely small amount of crop evolution chance that you could just buy from the farming shop in the day market. Like, you have more biology boost here than you like evolution chance from biology boost than you do the crop evo stamp. So just give that perspective. Some of those stamps just really aren't that good. Some of them are not multiplicative with other bonuses available, and honestly, to that point, it's also kind of hard to tell which stamps are multiplicative given the essence ones, for example. I don't know if they are, but there's a set amount of stamps that are actually really, really good, being multi-tool, being summoner, EXP, being divinity, being mason jar, crystalline, golden apple stamp. And we always talk about crystalline being number one. The reason being why crystalline is number one is because it helps kind of, when Exalted stamps were introduced, when Windwalker was introduced, the crystal, or rather this crescent shrine, was nerfed. So we actually saw a reduction of our crystal chance and giant spawn chance. And the fix for that was lava expected you to double crystalline stamp to make up for the crystal spawn chance. You may also notice that this says specifically crystalline giant spawn. Giant spawns were just straight up nerfed. There was no compensation like there was the crystalline stamp. So the crystalline stamp is actually helps us get back to, and also, more than that, improves our crystal spawn chances from before Windwalker rates. With the massive multipliers and increases to Exalted stamp bonuses, crystal spawn chances hitting like between, in some cases 1 in 13, 1 in 14. So it's really, really easy to spawn crystal mobs. Anyways, I'm giving you a lot of Idleon lore and history that may or may not be helpful to you to give you context about why it's important to double some of these stamps. It's because doubling it is actually necessary because it was nerfed, because a lot of expected you to double this, and if you didn't double it, then you just got nerfed for no reason. Anyways, good game design. Also, yeah, anyways, trying to think. Anyways, yeah, but also vendor stamp being a stamp to double is really, really important because it'll allow you to get an additional bag from the World 1 forest vendor, the Tiki vendor. Being able to get that +1 bag means you get another mini boss per day, which means you get more biggie hours, means you get more time candy. That's the wrong shop. This is the one. You get the 2 Dujat eyes. That's normal. That's still there, but instead of getting 3 bags, you get up to 4. And obviously the getting to 3 in and of itself comes from bribes. It comes from obviously the achievement from World 5, the secret achievement from standing behind the vendor, talking to the vendor. I don't even know where that secret achievement is. I think it's this one. Yeah, shop capacity. And then obviously the stamp itself getting a high enough level and doubling it will help you get a little bit more shop capacity. Hello? What am I looking at? Stamps. I'm trying to get to stamps. Jesus. It'll help you get a little bit extra shop quantity to get you those 4 bags per day. So you get a little bit more time candy. Okay, cool. There was one other niche mechanic I wanted to go over, and I can't remember what it was. I talked a little bit too much, and now it has eluded me. Oh yeah, drop rate. I kind of talked about why this really isn't that good. Oh yeah, Summoner Stone Stamp. This is what I wanted to talk about. Why is this important? Summoner Stone Stamp is actually pretty important because of one particular thing, which is becoming more important these days, which is Seraph Cosmos. I want you guys to read this. It gives you a multiplier to your star sign bonuses per 20 summoning levels. This applies to your infinite star signs, so all the ones you don't equip. And if you have a star sign doubler, it'll multiply the ones that you double, as well as the ones that are infinite. So, getting more gold food effect, getting more mob respawn, getting more divinity EXP, more lab EXP, wherever that is. It's one of these later ones. There we go. Lab EXP. More cooking speed, multiplicative meal cooking speed, getting more artifact find chance, getting more breedability speed, more trappers, more trap efficiency and critters per trap, which is, you know, I guess good for early game players. More construction EXP, worship EXP and efficiency. You know, all stat. There's like, and you know, carry capacity as well if you want to get more like stuff for that, whatever. Yeah. Get some OG chance and get some what was I doing here? I don't remember. Mob respawn, maybe. Anyways, Seraph Cosmos is really powerful. You wouldn't expect it to be very powerful, but star signs are such a core element to the game where it's very optimal and very important for you to try to maximize the amount of summoning EXP you get. And that is why summoning stone, the summoning EXP stone stamp is actually very, very important and very powerful. It's primarily because there's very limited sources of summoning EXP in the game, and it's really hard to level summoning past 140 at this stage until World 7 comes out with other EXP multis. But you see the EXP multi here is 1020.77. Obviously, if I have a star sign doubler, I'm able to take that up just a little bit with, I believe it's one of these, this one right here, this summoning EXP one. Take that off just to showcase. I think I have a doubler, yeah. So you can see the 20% EXP, which gets scaled by Seraph Cosmos, gets scaled by the summoning doublers, all that stuff, goes from 1020 to in the 1100s. So think about how much EXP this Summoner Stone EXP stamp is actually giving me. If I didn't have this doubled, I'd probably be in a little bit high triple digits, definitely not quadruple digits. So it is very important for helping you level up summoning, and I would argue it's probably S tier, or if not very high A tier stamp to double, because it'll help you level up summoning just that much faster. Okay, I've talked a lot about stamps. I think you guys are probably bored of hearing me talk about stamps, so we'll move on. Okay, 11 Mega Feather for Owl. In 2025, in August 2025, sorry, in your time, July 2025, is pitiful. I got this on my free-to-play account in 1 week. Now, granted, I did play a lot, but your account was made how long ago? So you've been around since at least the inception of Owl. Even if you took like a 4-month break, you've played and had more opportunity and time with Owl than I have on my free-to-play account, that is. There's no reason why your Mega Feather should be this low when things like the Vault were introduced, which increased the Owl clicker game, and the Gambit Cavern increased the amount of resources you get from those clicker games. Just having 11 Mega Feather is pretty sad. And, you know, it speaks volumes that you went ahead and you used a limited resource such as an Exalted stamp to get more drop rate, when instead you could have just clicked on the Owl mechanic once every day and gotten more, probably a similar amount of drop rate than you would have from doubling this. Okay, doublers on the bubbles. This is pretty good. Pretty good. I agree with everything here. Yeah. I think it's hopefully a fairly no-brainer reason why you double all of these. I mean, you know, these are efficiency or skilling power. I agree with these. These are fine. You know, it's, you know, for the same reason, the Exalted stamps, you could save onto them for World 7. You could also save on to some Prism bubbles for World 7, because World 7 will introduce bubbles at the onset, like they did for World 6, like Lava did for World 6. So you can save on to some of the Prisma bubbles, so Prisma fragments to double some of the World 7 bubbles, assuming they might be powerful. Who knows? Worth considering if you have some Prisma fragments left over, like I have 39 right now, so I have 3 extra bubbles, potentially a 4th if I do a little bit more AC to double. So, you know, if World 7 comes around and they introduce some pretty powerful bubbles, it'll be nice. Okay, Cauldrons. This is another thing that people are kind of doing to prep for World 7, is just getting more liquid regens. So getting their cap and rate up to 1,000 is kind of what people are trying to do with their AC. So, you know, doing some liquid farming, making sure to take off the lab node, the Viaduct of the Gods, so you get more liquid regen speed. playing and being active and having a Choco Chip and Crystal Spawn chance on your Arcane Cultist to get as much liquid regen as you can and trying to level up the cap and rate to 1000. And for those of you who don't know or who are early game and trying to understand how it's even possible to get to 1000 of your cap and rate, there's a upgrade from Equinox called Liquid Vestment. And the way this works is whenever you generate one liquid, it'll, and I'm actually unclear about how this mechanic works. Based off the wording, I believe this is how this works, so it might be wrong. Give me a second, let me blow my nose before I give you a proper explanation. There we go. The way I believe, I'm out of focus. Hello. The way I believe this works based off the wording is you're at 99% excess liquid investment. So whenever you generate one liquid, it'll take that one liquid and split it between cap and rate. So previously, I believe I've said on stream that it takes that one liquid and kind of duplicates it. And that one liquid gets multiplied by 0.99. And then you get 0.99 liquid into rate and 0.99 liquid into cap. I don't know if that actually works like that, or if it takes that one, divides it into two, and then just puts it into cap and rate. So you get like 0.449, 48, whatever the number is, into liquid cap and rate. Either way, it automatically does the investment of liquid cap and rate for you. Sorry, my cat interrupting here. I hope you're happy with yourself, Colby. Anyways, either way, it will automatically invest your liquid cap and rate, your liquid generated from those cauldrons into the cap and rate. So you can automatically level that up. So what I would recommend is, just being active on Arcane Cultist, and so just being active on Arcane Cultist so that you can automatically level up those cauldrons into liquid cap and rate. You see here, looking at his account, you see the liquid cap at 1.98 mil out of 102,000. That tells you it's kind of overflowed, so that you can use those to upgrade those cauldrons and really help and upgrade, those cauldrons to get your liquid cap and rate up. That's how you get up to the 1,000, using the liquid vestment from Equinox, putting the 1,000 levels into the cap and rate there. Let's see. And vials, obviously the critters, trying to get those critters up to level 13. Getting the turtle vial up to level 13 first is really important. You've gotten the honker vial up to 13, which is those base critters, so you can get more critters out of your traps, which is really important. But getting that EXP will help you, just getting to those 120 so you can get the god shard traps, because base critters, as we said in multiple videos already, base critters is essentially a multiplier to the trapping EXP. So if you're trying to get god shard traps to get to 120 traps, focusing on all the base critter upgrades you can get is really, really important. So getting base critters here from the vials, getting base critters from finding crops and farming, because the crop scientist pencil gives you base critters for every crop that you find. And also shiny pets will also help you with that. And also the windwalker upgrade for base critters will help you get more base critters there. Obviously, it's a nonsensical statement there. Kilroy, as you mentioned, if you're able to do Kilroy, getting up to 180 in the 1 second timer, getting up to 120 in the skulls, and then, at that point, getting like 100 levels and faster respawn, then just fully investing into bonus skulls is what I recommend. You only need 1 point into dungeon, into the other upgrades, because they cap at level 1. Yes, you can still upgrade them past that, but they don't give you anything else outside of just level 1. So level 1 talent drops, level 1 pearl drops, level 1 dungeon drops. That's basically it. That's the cap for them. Kangaroo, same as Owl. Actually, pretty good. 9's not that bad. 10 would be preferable, but I'm not going to complain here. This is actually pretty good. Let's see. Printer. Overall, like, prep goals for World 7 is trying to aim for 1 trillion copper ore. It's obviously, it just takes a lot of time with Bravery, so trying to get more mining efficiency from the Bravery monument will help with that. Getting more Onyx statues, getting more Dragon Warrior statue levels, getting more mining statue levels will help you out with that, etc., etc. Also, I completely skipped over shrines. We'll talk about that. I guess we'll talk about that now before I forget, because I will forget. Equipment. Best way to level up shrines, obviously, is just getting a stack of gold cheese across your characters, which you don't have. So making sure to put gold cheese on your characters, making sure trying to put the shrines in the most populated world, so your characters I see a lot of green mushrooms here and a lot of them doing nothing. So I don't know if they're like in World 1 town doing nothing or like where they are, but put your shrines in World 1. That when you claim the AFK time on Charlie 102 and Charlie 103 on Boyo and Charlie 106, you will claim shrine AFK time because they are in World 1. They're active in World 1 Gmush specifically. So if you put the shrines in World 1 town, it'll claim that AFK time from those characters, and it'll deposit that AFK time into shrines. And remember, because you have the Jade Emporium upgrade, I'm assuming, you won't lose shrine EXP from moving them around anymore. It's the Shrine Collective Bargaining Agreement upgrade in Jade Emporium. It's relatively early. It's like 100-ish mil Jade coin cost or something like that. You got this one. Oh, 65 mil, sorry. Shrine Collective Bargaining Agreement. Let's see. Overall levels, not bad. Pretty good. Lab level 2500. Okay. Construction 92. I mean, it's always worth it to push levels. I would probably get cooking up to level 1000. Remember to use balloons in the kitchen. It's relatively easy getting to cooking level 1000 nowadays with the vault upgrade for cooking EXP. If you use balloons here on a character that's not level 100 for cooking, you can get up there pretty quickly, depending how many balloons you have left over. Trapping is obviously a different story, but as we mentioned earlier in the video, base critters is pretty important. Pretty important. Tome, I guess chasing the 1% is something you could do to help you kind of orient your goals in the short term. So that means more bubble levels and more of whatever else you see here. Trying to find something to kind of talk about here. I guess along the lines of trying to get more skill levels, more lab and divinity levels may help you. Trying to aim for the plus 18 talent levels here. You see some of these characters are at that breakpoint. So this one, 17.03, this rounds up to 18 so long as it's not 0.00. If it's 0.01, it'll round up. So this character has plus 18 talent levels. And the way this minor bonus scales here, you see hovering over this character, minor bonus 17.07 talent levels for all talents above level 1. This is the Arctis bonus. The way this scales is your divinity level on the character, as well as the big P level bubble that you have here. So it's 6450. Getting this up a little bit might help those other characters hit the breakpoint for plus 18, but it's mostly going to come from divinity level. So divinity level is the easiest way to hit those next breakpoints. So trying to aim for, I think, I want to say plus 18. I think it's like what 180 or something like that. Just, I don't know, rough knowledge, top of my head. Skills, yeah, okay, wasn't too far off. 191, that makes more sense. The next one to hit, I think, is like 244, and I think like a 6450 or 10,000 big P level. So that's plus 18 at 191. And then it is plus 19 at 244. And then the next one is plus 20 at 345 or 365. It's insane. No one's going to hit that anytime soon unless there's some multipliers to Div EXP. But, you know, just throwing it out there. For those of you who don't know, you can also use IE Auto Reviewer. IE Scully's Auto Reviewer, if you paste your toolbox link wherever that is in here, and you scroll down and try to find, here we go, I do have mine, Divinity, or sorry, type in Arctis, I think. Control F, type in Arctis. Here we go. Yeah, Divinity range is 239 to 273. And it's telling me 332 divinity and 6731 big P. So getting this will get me plus 20 levels. So getting this across my characters to 332 divinity means I'll be able to hit that plus 20 minimum talent levels. It's not worth it. I don't recommend anyone go to the 300 levels. 244 is at least feasible. But for all intents and purposes, trying to aim for the 191 is perfectly fine. But if you want a stretch goal, trying to hit that 240 plus divinity in the 6,000-7,000 big P level, maybe something you want to do. I don't know. I see you play a little bit more inactively, so that might be something you want to do. I guess good transition is talking about Bravery. I always talk about Bravery when it comes to skill levels because people don't often realize that Bravery sword damage scales off of your total account skill level. So getting more skill levels will help you scale your Bravery sword damage, which means you are able to push more waves into Bravery and hopefully eventually hit Bravery bonus multi. That's the name of the game. But that being said, I think probably the best thing for you to do is try to get more Bravery hours. Trying to hit that 24k is pretty important. And beyond that, trying to hit 100k in Bravery is very, very important because you'll be able to get more sword damage. Why is that? Because there's the engineer schematic called Story Changes Over Time. The more hours of AFK you do at the Bravery Monument means you get more minimum and more maximum damage. So by being AFK and collecting those AFK times in Bravery, your sword damage will just go nuts. So if I go to Bravery here, you see my sword damage here, 12.857 million. I have some Bravery hours I can go ahead and claim. So I go to main Magic Boy, 12.857 to 12,971. That is how much damage I get from claiming, what was that, 1,000 hours of AFK time? Because I have like 1500% monument AFK gain, so the 74.8 hours or so. 3 days, 2 hours, 47 minutes, scales up to 1,245 monument hours. There you go. I'm at 13 mil minimum sword damage. That's pretty good. And then obviously when I actually get into Bravery, I will have even more damage than that because this isn't taking into account the rethrows that I have, which give you more sword damage. And that is also one of the schematics you get later on into the hole. Rethrow. Not that one. I think it's earlier than that. Might be later than that, actually. If I type in sword, maybe? I'd be skipping over it. Reroll Keeper. Each unused reroll you have at a Bravery story gives you plus 10% sword max damage. And if you have the Belaya upgrade, the increase the sword max damage will affect your sword minimum damage, so you're able to push even further into Bravery. This is a great one. And obviously paired with the other schematic, this is how Bravery sword damage like really scales. So throwing that last sword or, you know, just having that Belaya upgrade will help you get more sword damage as you progress those earlier rounds. And obviously the Belaya upgrade I'm talking about is just getting at least level 1 into the Bravery sword here. Will make it so that your minimum sword damage scales off your maximum sword damage. And for fights that your minimum damage is higher than their HP, you automatically win and you stack up that sword damage. So that'll kind of help. It's good quality of life feature. This, I believe, actually caps at 32%. So you don't need to put any more levels into this. I think it stops like level 7, 8, or 9. It's stop scaling past this. 32% is that cap. So once you hit that 32, you can skip it. There still is a reason why you want to try to get more levels of this, and that's primarily because the more studies you finish, I think it gives you more study rate or more villager exp, I don't know, something like that. It scales like rupee value. Yeah, so completing more studies will help you with your rupee value just with based off the measure of scaling here. But to each their own. You can stop at like 9 or 8, whatever the number is, and then from there I'd probably just infinitely put your Belaya into studying. I don't know, the Bell is a good one. Lamp Wishes per day, this is a good one. The resource ones, the Motherlode, the Hive, as well as the Evertree, those are pretty good because those will lower the resource requirement needed to destroy the other skilling resources. So the Evertree, the Hive, whatever. So you can put the Studier into those to help you out. The Temple is pretty good for getting more extra torches. You're able to try to push higher levels of Sanctum. That's kind of what I'm doing right now on my Siegebreaker. If you guys see me, I'm trying to push Sanctum 40. That's currently where I'm at. So that's why I have a bunch of characters AFK at Golems. I have 800 hours almost to claim here. So I'm really happy about that because I'll be able to get probably Sanctum 40 once I hit 39 pretty easily is my hope. That's my hope. But yeah, Sanctum is all about just trying to hit really, really low numbers for a very long time. And 40 is a very painful goal. I don't recommend anyone do that. Anyways, Slab, I guess is probably second to last thing I want to talk about is just Slab. Just make sure to do your party dungeon. Party dungeon is a really easy source of those Slab numbers because you're missing a bunch of the V-Man stuff. You're missing a bunch of the warrior stuff, the archer stuff, the mage stuff, and you have some. You can actually upgrade some of the stuff in the party dungeon menu. If you don't remember, outside, just in the lobby, you can actually upgrade the max amount of helmet as well as the amulet because of the new arcane cultist, because of Deathbringer, because of Windwalker, you can actually upgrade, get the Crow Perch, get the Lava Diamond double pendant, try to get this inside the party dungeon. It'll count as Slab. Also, these obols here, these come primarily from some exceptions, the alchemy shop. So buying the obols in the alchemy shop will help you get the like lower tier bronze obols for swords, so you're able to re-roll those up into their higher tiers and whatever respective obol that you're missing. So dementia, rolling it up to purple to help you out with that. Honestly, you can get this from, I think, roll to crystal farming as well, but the skilling ones specifically are going to come from the skilling ones, the exp one, I think the card ones come from that, the defense ones, the trapping ones, the worship ones, those ones come from alchemy shop. This one comes from a random event. This comes from random event. This comes from World 5 mini boss, and the pop obols obviously come from Gigafrogs. I guess the last thing to talk about, as always, is going to be farming, I guess. 207 crops, actually pretty good. Happy with that. If you're looking for how to progress further into farming, I guess my recommendation is probably get a little bit more levels into stronger vines. Trying to get those extra +1 crops will eventually lead you into getting more magic beans. Obviously, getting more levels of more beans will help you with that as well. Getting more rank boost as well to get more land rank EXP will help you in the short term for getting more land ranks for more evolution chance. You're able to get the next crop. But primarily for bean resets, it's just a matter of putting most of your points to evolution GMO. I would try to aim to get speed GMO up to 40%. It's good quality of life. You'll be able to hit that sub 1 second growth time on a lot of your crops. And then OG fertilizer, a good breakpoint to hit is try to hit that 4x, so you get a little bit more OG. So when you go AFK for a long period of time, hopefully you'll hit the 500,000 to 1 million to 2 million OG, so you're able to get a ton of crops there. Okay, cool. Charlie, thank you for the account. I do appreciate it. Hopefully you learned a little bit of something. Hopefully you guys learned a little bit of something. Hopefully you guys learned a lot from the yapping I gave about the Exalted stamps, a little bit of history of Idleon, etc. So you guys have a little bit more background information to go on. Hopefully, Charlie, I like to see your shrines get up to at least like 27 sometime in the near future. So doing more gold cheese farming in World 3, Bloodbones, Blokes, Neptunes, etc. Thank you for the account. Have a great day. Bye-bye. Hey guys, I just want to say as a last thing, thank you to all of my Twitch subscribers and YouTube channel members. You guys really help the channel grow and really motivate me to continue making videos. If you guys do also want to support me on YouTube, it's just $1 a month for a channel subscription at the lowest tier. You can choose to give more if you want. Just want to say that. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate your support. Have a great day. Bye.